That took one loss and one win. The winner outweighed the loser by a lot. So let's get into it. Going into the day, my bias. So yesterday was Thursday. We swept this high inside of this fair value gap, rejected it. That acted as manipulation. So now I was fully confident in us going to these equal lows that we had down here. These relative equal lows that we had down here. Right, that was my draw. It is Friday, so like I was like 80% sure that we go here, right? I'm not 100% at this point, but I'm like 80% sure. Um, so let's go into the 5 minute chart. Um, so as everybody knows, price action has been weird the past couple days. Um, it's either chop or pump, um, upside or downside, right? Chop or pump, right? Really no like super efficient moves. So going into the day, I saw that the model was already in place that I was looking for. We had S&T here um, at this 9:15 high and this 7 o'clock high inside of this fair value gap. This 30 minute or it's an hourly fair value gap and a 30 minute. If you were finding down, and then you also have this run on buy stops here. So at first, this was my draw. Seeing if maybe we come up and manipulate this one more time, but we didn't. We sold straight off the sell side, right? So the loss I took, I'll go over it. It was I really wouldn't say it was stupid. It's just the difference between being confident in your drawn liquidity and what price is doing and trying to catch like moves against that. So I took buys. So at this point, come AM, we had taken this low and it was S&T. We didn't take it on the S. So I said if we get a change in the state and then the inverse fair value gap, I'm willing to take longs up to London high, which was all the way up here, right? But this was my low hanging fruit. Um, so we inverse this gap, and once we get a closure above, I enter. Um, and then we get this big push up, and then we get this big push back down. And I exit the position. We had like created a SMT on a lower time frame, like here. Once we really violated that, I exited the position for a loss. I don't think it's necessarily a bad trade. What I do think it is the difference between you being confident in your draw on liquidity. One thing I feel like I'm doing is like say we get a certain setup that looks a certain way one day. I'm like, oh, this might be the setup from yesterday because this happened yesterday. I didn't take the trade because I was confident in the downside, but like the thing is that so this is the 10 o'clock candle. This move up to here was like this long wick here. It obviously pierced that high. There was a reason for price to do this because we wanted to take liquidity inside of this fair value gap, right? Here, there's no reason for price to do that. We've already created the manipulation that we're looking for inside of this fair value gap, and we have a high swept. The S&T acts as manipulation, so there's no reason for us to go to uh, London high. So that's why the setup, like I think more logic being in the trade would have helped me not taking that trade. We had a possible seek and destroy profile too, so it just made me be like, oh yeah, seek and destroy SMT, let's take longs. And I feel like there needs to be more logic in there, like why. I feel like I was also a bit too zoomed in, but I'm gonna journal that and grow from that. So like I was saying earlier, the model was already presenting itself though on the 5 minute. So we had SMT, this hourly or 30 minute fair value gap. We had SMT inside of it. We ran buy stops. We had inverse fair value gaps get violated. So now we just wait for a change in the state. So the only thing I don't like about this trade here that I took, the second trade I took, was that it was based off a 5 minute idea, but my stop loss was there was S&T here. So the logic behind this, let me just get into the logic behind it a little bit. My entry per se. Once we had a change in the state, I was looking for a retest of this change in the state and respect. in order for us to go lower, right? Because my draw is where was the equal lows. So we get SMT here, and I enter on this candle, and I put my stop above the SMT, right? I don't like this because if I'm confident in the idea, I don't put my stop below the SMT. Above the SMT, because my stop would be uh logical based on the 5 minute. The logic behind my stop would be based on the 5 minute, not the 1 minute. Because I could have easily have gotten stopped out because I was too zoomed in, and then the lower time, and then on a higher time frame, we come and manipulate and then go lower. But that didn't happen, and then ended up working out in my favor. I used the standard deviation on this move, and we respected 2 to 2.5. Around here, I just showed it. Yeah, once we tapped into it here, we respected a little bit. I exited my position. I didn't know. I was confident in this draw, but I didn't know if we'd come back and stop me out because my stop was in profit. So I said a safe bet would be to do two to get out at 2 and 2.5 standard deviations. Obviously hindsight can say you should have held to the full draw. But seeing it play out in real time and knowing where my exit was, I only get more and more confident with it. Um, and those are the two trades I took today. This trade here took me out of drawdown for the day and for the month. So that's good. Like I said, I just have to trust the model and stay zoomed out if I'm unclear. This was perfect. Obviously, we dumped a lot more than anyone would expect, and then we didn't come back and retest any of these fair value gaps. I don't like this one or this one here, but it's all good. That's the trade recap for today, though. Yeah, banger. Let me show the executions on the screen so you guys can see it. This was the loss I took, and then this was the winner I took. I don't know if you guys want to know 1 minute, but